Why do rich people want more money? They can literally buy whatever they want, right? Why do they need to get more and more of it regardless of consequences? It's a high score. That's it really. They are just obsessed with having more. They want to win at life by having the biggest possible number on their bank account. So here is the deal, there is no cut-off switch in the human mind for acquiring wealth, and everything is relative. Say you are a poor American who makes $50K a year. Obviously you want more money, you want more security, nicer things, better food, etc. Now, to a poor person living in some underdeveloped country who makes $200 a year, you seem like a super wealthy person. They probably think you are a greedy, selfish person who is just never satisfied with what you have. The same thing applies to billionaires. They want a nicer house, a nicer yacht, more friends and influence, etc. I'm not justifying it, I'm just saying the tendency to want more is in all of us. The reason they are rich is because that is how they chose to score life success. If they were the type of people to say yeah, that's good enough, they wouldn't have hit that level. Think of pro athletes. They are that good due to some natural talent. They also continued trying to be the best even when they were the best on the team already. They get to where they want to go, then find another goal to push for. When you're talking about the Jeff Bezoses and Mark Zuckerbergs of the world, money in and of itself is no longer a motivating factor. They just love running their respective companies and making them the best they can be, and the money is just a side effect. At that level, it's all just stock anyway, meaning, even if they gave it all away, that means they are literally giving away ownership of their companies, and that is the part they don't want to do. One of the reasons is creating generational wealth for their family. Make enough that your family is set even if your children, grandchildren, etc. are brainless morons. Where do you think trust fund kids come from? Rich parents, grandparents who made a lot of and made sure their family is set for future generations. Greed and a drive for a purpose and a goal, they make more money to make more money, which makes them even more money. Also, there are things which are ridiculously expensive to buy, and you might want to set your future family up for success as well. The reason they got rich is their obsession with getting money. That doesn't go away, lol. When you are getting a lot and good at it, you keep getting more. There is always a next level. Look at some yacht comparisons from billionaire to millionaire. Plus there is being able to afford staff. Private jets can cost tens of millions. For your second question, it's similar to the homeless problem. Essentially, the other workers in the other companies can buy your products? What if they automate too? That's not my problem. I'm only concerned with my profits. Homeless problem response being, I don't hate homeless people, just not in my backyard. Dragon sickness is real. Because it doesn't mean as much when the person next to them has an extra Wealth has logarithmic utility for most people if you include human capital. That means x-folding your wealth always brings you CX points more happiness on a scale from 1 to 10. A billionaire is roughly as happy about another billion as a millionaire is happy about another million. For example, because he can buy an even bigger yacht. Because capital can and should only grow. That's its essence. And don't forget about the 3 basic functions of the brain. 1 reproduction, 2 food, 3 dominance. The more the better. Quick note, not a scientist, and just rehashing some reading I've done from actual neurologists, so apologies in advance if this isn't totally correct. The mere act of getting more of something activates the reward center in the brain. To use an overused layman's phrasing, it's like getting a drug high. It's how online games like Candy Crush and Neopets get people hooked. Getting more points is rewarding in and of itself. Getting a reward releases dopamine, which causes you to want to repeat those behaviors for the same effect. Then money becomes more than just a means to an end. The actual process of getting more money becomes addictively pleasurable. Quote from the film, Chinatown, Jake Gitz. I just want to know what you're worth. Over 10 million? Noah Cross. Oh my, yes. Jake Gitz. Why are you doing it? How much better can you eat? What can you buy that you can't already afford? Noah Cross. The future, Mr. Gitz, the future. Addiction. If you're not getting richer, you're getting poorer. Lifestyle creep. You don't really notice and life gets more expensive, so you just keep trying to get more and more. They do know this. They are not interested in the long term, they are interested in the now, while they are the boss. They don't care what happens after they are gone. Back in the 70s and 80s, the big oil companies knew about the effect oil and coal, etc. were having on the climate. Their own research departments told them. But the time frame for major effects was 40-50 years in the future, i.e. now. Now these guys knew they were not going to be alive at that time, let alone still running the oil company, so they buried the research and denied it was a problem, and launched campaigns against anyone that tried to say fossil fuels were stuffing up the climate. They just wanted to protect the company share price, because many CEOs' compensation is tied to share price performance. Now those guys died rich, and the rest of us have to live with the consequences. Same with AI. They know that if everyone loses their jobs to AI, no one will have money to buy their products. But they also know that scenario is a long way off and probably won't happen on their watch. So they'll do what they can to replace workers because that affects the only thing they care about: profit. If 20 of the population still has enough money to buy their crap, then they don't really care about the other 80.